another episode of Curse of Mother Misery. Tonight we're playing the module Curse of Strahd, but it's changed, transformed, and playing in the system and the setting of Frostmark the RPG. Everything created by moi. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, heavy topics, gothic horror, and perhaps some gore. We shall see. And with me I have a wonderful cast of players. I got Lady Lyra, our half of a Megas, played by Julie. Hello, welcome.
Time to get some answers.
Hey, I'm Marcia Chasey played by Cookie. Hello, hello.
Hello. That's a big stick I'm wielding right now.
Nick Soderstani, our tiefling bard, played by Adriano.
Windows Keepers.
And we have an open spot for the fourth here because of changed in work schedules. There's anybody who can join, so if you're watching, join the Discord and learn more. But in the meantime, gang, what happened last time?
A lot
We
of gardening.
finished our little gardening exercise. We also took one of the druids alive.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to interrogate them, but found ourselves with a little bit of a language barrier.
Yeah. That took a while to figure out.
I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure they don't understand the language, but then everybody was like, or they don't want to talk to you. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they just don't speak the language.
That's gaslighted.
But we did get some info about, well, something was said now. We don't know what it means. But it means something. Also, apparently there's a plan that is already in motion.
Mm-hmm.
And can't be stopped. And the phrase winter splinter was
Will be your doom.
Indeed.
said. We don't know what that is, but it was mentioned.
Yeah.
So the Martikovs eventually came down once it was saved. The ones who didn't join us, and ordered to basically take that druid out back and dispose of it.
Yeah. For sure.
Illyria was guarding them until then. Nyx was looting the place because they don't need the money they have right now.
It was less looting and more making sure that the place was secure.
You're protecting
And-
the money by keeping it close.
Yeah, exactly. I was protecting it.
Also during the battle, I just want to point out how the battle ended. Count back.
Yes. Hamardia teleported Nyx and herself with the cape
Yeah.
to the druid with the creepy staff, and as we had suspected, it was indeed the control stick for those sentient shrubbery.
Control stick.
And Nyx told them to leave.
Yeah.
Only after
Play the
attacking
masters
Gerald
first.
Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they freaked out and they're like, no!
And said it to Valyrian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the battle was very dire up until in that moment, with the 3 druids, the waves of animated plants, Darius going down, and they're rolling a critical 1 on the step save. I was a little bit worried.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, we
succeeded.
don't need Darius. Collateral damage.
He succeeded
Yeah,
on
didn't they,
on
like-
the second one, but there was a 50% chance he would have died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he came out of the bush when he met us. He's just going
Yeah,
back
fuck
to
him.
the bush.
Yeah. The bush of eternity.
Mm-hmm. The circle of bush.
And it
And it
trims
weeds
us
and
all.
storms.
I wonder how much of a massacre Nyx just ordered.
Well,
Well,
I
he
mean-
ordered that first, and then he ordered them to just walk northwest and out of
Yeah.
the mists until they couldn't walk anymore.
Although we could have ordered a massacre,
Basically.
that would have been fun.
Like a circle of death kind of thing. Like
Sick.
2 twigs enter, 1 twig leaves.
I tell them to go back to like where they came from and just murder the shit out of everyone
Replant
there.
yourself.
Okay, you gotta stop.
And we ended with us finally, well, getting to sit down with the Mardikovs and hopefully getting some answers from the stubborn old man.
Heck yeah. Perfect. With that, we're gonna get back into it, shall we?
How mysterious.
Oh my god, I hate that you call out the names I give the music. It's just to help me, remind me what they're meant for, in which situations.
I mean,
Okay,
it's very
don't worry about
smart.
Oh god. So, the ravens are returning to their home. It might be a bit roughed up, but thanks to you, Team Trauma, it still stands and is free of the plant infestation. Their squawks and shrieks can be heard through the walls and the roofs of this vineyard's mansion as they perform loud patrol and victory laps around and above the structure. Savoie has went to help Dog transport the children and some equipment down from the knoll. Elver is still somewhere out back, taking care of business, strolling back from time to time with a whistling tone as he drags bodies out of the way for the children that will soon arrive. Esmeralda and Darius is for now unseen, but you guess that they might be nursing their wounds somewhere or aiding in the cleanup. But all of that is mostly out of your attention. Darius leads Illyria through the house, but at the creaking balcony over those huge vats, he takes a left instead of a right. There, Illyria can see the distraction at the other end of the vineyard. The destruction and mayhem of the label-making workshop room and 2 spacious bedrooms, their content strewn everywhere, even in the hallway that you walk through. Darius makes his way into the kitchen, where Illyria can also take in the state of chaos that Hamartia and Nyx found it in. Broken glass and ceramic crunching underneath your boot. And, Nyx and Hamartia, you can clearly hear the approach of Darius' slow shuffling and the sharp rhythmic impacts of his walking staff, as well as the lithe and careful footfalls of Illyria. Nyx, you just finished making a mental tally of all the coins that you have gathered before you on the broken canopy bed. Seconds remain until those sounds will be very close indeed. What do you want to do?
Let's scoop it. Let's scoop the coins.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah, and I put it into my little bag.
Okay, just this is not gonna be a hard check, but just for funsies sake, make me a stealth with dexterity. Because this is a little bit okay. All right. You have done this before.
Yep.
They are now safely tucked away under your watchful eye to make sure that these coins do not just disappear and be taken by near, bad folk.
Mm-hmm. There could be, forest folk about still under the bed. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. At that point, Darius is properly into the room, and he turns his head towards the open door where he spots both of you. Oh, well, that makes things easier. Come.
Hey, come where exactly?
To the room next door. I do so holding the little safe box in my hand, like looking at it, like it's the little dented secure box.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't picked it or anything like that. I'm just like holding it, looking at it curiously as I walk into the room.
Darius walks around the table and
Well,
over
that's
to
nice.
you slowly, whilst his bushy eyebrows are in a deeper furrow than normal. Where's the rest?
They have ransacked this entire room. It's only by chance they managed to find this amongst the wreckage. Take a look for yourself.
Curious, I never thought that the Forest Folk had any use of our coinage. They might be changing their ways. I mean, it makes sense with this new aggression.
They
Unfortunate.
seemed very adamant about something was too late.
Yes,
Maybe-
I've heard that you cast comprehend languages on the Forest Folk outside. I am keen on hearing what you have learned.
Well, I believe this is yours, and I hold my hand out to deliver the little storage box, safe box.
He hesitates of like, are you serious? And takes it in his hand that is free of the walking stick and just looks into it, sees there's nothing there, and then just throws it over his head into the corner. Useless junk.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking it if you're just going to toss it around, and I go pick it up. It's like it's a sturdy contraption.
I mean, this strong box was not entered through like a fine, like fine tools of opening the lock very gently to pretend that you were never there to begin. This strong box have been buckled out of proportion by just sheer force.
Oh, okay.
It can probably not even close.
I thought it was just like
Maybe
You know,
if
it
you like
never actually
reforge it
Weren't
to
there like
hammer it into shape.
shaped like indentions around the place?
Yes, in the walls.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well,
So you would know that's no problem.
okay. I did my best to try and understand, and I managed to get something out of them, but it wasn't easy. This courage.
Wait, I need to sit down and warmth. Be a good lad and heat the stove, would you?
Be a good lad.
And
I
he,
mean-
like, turns and doesn't care about any complaints that you have. He like, sits down here with a very heavy sigh.
I look to Illyria. I make an action, like a striking, like a match kind of, and then like a shrug, and then I think I'm gonna actually like step onto the table and sit on the table with my legs crossed, facing him.
Oh god. Illyria is gonna like
Cheers
like
for
make a
suckers.
fire.
All right. There are still some like chopped wood still in a pile, but that kind of designated area, there's just perhaps 3 logs left. The stove is warm, and so when you carefully like open that little iron door, there is burning embers in there, so kind of surmise that the stove has probably been used by the forest walk as well. So it's just easy to just throw it in, and I guess with the are you gonna do it the magic way or the boring way?
I mean, probably the boring way, because I'm pretty sure she does have like a tinderbox on her.
Yeah. Easy, and soon the fire is back to life. I'm right here. Do you do anything?
Hamada will just stand pace back and forth in the hallway, a bit anxious.
Darius takes a long time to settle in. He's like,
Isn't that Davian? Not Darius?
Oh, Davian. Fuck. Too many names
It's okay.
on T. This is Davian. Darius sits outside. Davian, he takes
Too
a
many
long
Ds.
time Oh god, what have I said? No.
Can't handle all these D's.
Too many D's to handle. Okay, I'm done. That's also D.
This is when the CR of next encounter increases by 1. These are the situations. Davian takes a long time to settle in, to be comfortable. He kind of squiggles the chair forward, leans his walking staff against the table, kind of rubs his hands together and blows into them, has a bit of a coughing fit, and then kind of sags into place. And then looking up through his bushy eyebrows at all of you, waiting for you to settle.
I settle by like putting my book on the table in front of me and just sort of, I don't think I'm actually injured at all. So I guess I'm more, as Illyria's lighting the stove, a little just mindful about how she feels, how she's feeling, because like it's been, she took a lot of damage. She got a lot of hurt.
Let me check how Illyria's feeling.
Like, is she like literally a corpse walking around? And like Nyx is like,
Not yet, but if Strahd gets his hands on her, she's like, on a scale from 1 to 73. She's a 24.
No! You can do it in more destructive terms! Okay. Fine.
No, she's beat up, but she seems to be like holding on, especially because she still has that little, I don't know, like do the temp HP go away after a time? Does that specify that?
It goes away after an hour, I believe. But nevertheless, as you're lighting the stove, Nyx will be sitting on the table and just like take note of Illyria, and they'll just like, his soul mark will flare. And he, it's like a soft golden glow, and soul pops out, and he casts Healing Word at 2nd level at Illyria. With a natural 20 soul check.
Ooh! Yeah, you're calm.
And another d4 on top. So total of, oh god.
Damn!
Yeah, 12 points of healing damage.
Davian's eyes kind of watch you go through all the motions. Like, he's not surprised, but it also looks like it's unusual for him. Like, he watches with great interest. As your eyes leave Illyria and just quickly looks around the room, Nyx says you're a little bit of an elevated position, actually. Outside, you can see just the heads of Darius and Esmeralda walking just past your vision together.
Do I get a sense of Illyria swagger?
What?
Not Illyria, Esmeralda swagger.
Make me a quick empathy composure with advantage.
$18.
There's a glint in her eye.
Oh god.
Okay. Nyx has like a little crook, like a little smirk, and then like shakes his head, and like then just I guess shrugs.
We all just had a near-death experience, especially.
Yeah, she will be taking great care of his wounds.
Yeah, and he's gonna have another one.
He clears his throat again, Davian. He is about to launch into another coughing fit, but with a trembling hand, he reaches into his robes and brings out a hidden little flask that he takes a quick swig from, and then the flask disappears again underneath his clothing.
Is it like a smell? Like, is there a smell with this guy? Like, does he smell like a drunk, basically?
Make me a perception intelligence.
Doing all the rolling here. 20 perception intelligence.
Yeah.
Is he 39?
Oh, I didn't know you had a plus 33 to that.
Yeah. When it comes to drinking, plus
Reroll.
30.
Just reroll.
17.
No. I mean, you have been around Kelvin. And now also been around, what's his face? Cloven. It has a strong herbal smell, but not an alcohol one.
Okay.
And he clears his throat a final time, trying to like push down something in his throat. All right.
It's just
First, I need to impart on you the privilege and risk you are all burdened by revealing ourselves this fully to you, sharing what we have so cautiously kept. You invite great danger upon you, upon us, and upon all of this cursed land.
What do you mean we putting danger on you? You were already in danger. That's why you needed our help.
Well, I think if they reveal whatever it is they'll reveal to us, it would put a target on their back, not only from angry forest folk.
We can somewhat invade them if we have to save our lives. Taking raven form allows you to, well, fly away. But if you would fail or slip up, and the devil would realize what has happened here, there's no chance for Strahd to be defeated, and you would forever doom Barovia to this fate, and I'm sure that we will all be meeting some kind of horrible fate to one another. You need to understand this. This is very, very serious.
It's serious that we know that you can turn into ravens, or are you holding out on us?
There's more to the story than that. If he would realize that we are able to transform into ravens, there's a number of other things that will be illuminated at the same time for him. Things that we rather him not knowing.
Well, clearly we have proven ourselves to be on the side of the Martikovs and the Ravens, and clearly oppose Strahd. We have risked our lives, and the lives of your own kin, in order to prove this, so we're all ears, old man.
He looks to all of you, and then there's like this slow nod and a bit of softening of his face, and when he softens, he kind of sags further, becomes very, very small in the chair, and also very tired when he lets go of whatever hard interior that he has had up until now. I guess that will have to be enough. It will have to be. Then let's risk fate to have this conversation. It slowly dawns upon you. The gravity here. From day one, Illyria has asked Nyx questions about his homeland. Things that he didn't know or didn't care to know. How Mardia has always struggled with the tight lips of her cruel family. Strahd has lied and misdirected you. Even his court has remained mysterious and non-becoming. When you thought you would discover a sliver of what is going on with the members of the Keepers of the Feathers in Vallaki, Irvin and Danica told you to come here. To Davian with your questions. He would know, she said. And here you are, after tears, sweat, and pain. You have earned this moment. So, with that understanding, Davian asks, so where to start? An easier subject, I think. Our previous conversation. What did you learn, Vistani?
Well, I learned that there is something larger at play here. It wasn't just a running through sort of deal. They were clearly looking for something that maybe they did not find, judging based off of how this entire vineyard manor house is being turned upside down. When I communicated, albeit somewhat brokenly, with this druid, this person of the forest, he seemed adamant that something was in play already, and our involvement was already too late. She was but a pawn, sent to do something that clearly she had failed in doing, and was ready to die at a moment's notice. And then, in the last moments before we left her to your kin to dispose of, I suppose, she mentioned the name Winter Splinter.
Winter Splinter. Well, we knew that they were doing something different when they decided to inhabit the old grave mound of Jester Hill. I hope this is not as ominous it sounds, but they have been acting differently in these last months. We need to send ravens, even though the chances are high that they will be shot from the sky. They are dwindling these days, but this is worth it. Thank you.
What exactly do you feel is going on at Jester Hill?
Jester Hill is a place for the forest folk to lay their dead to rest. They seem superstitious about the dead rising, so in later days after the curse started, they started piling stones on top of the graves to prevent them from rising. They are behind in many regards to Moravians or the Savage Empire, but they are not without merit. Ever since then the curse started, there has been an internal storm above Jester Hill, and a strange vision in the mists. Only seen from a specific viewpoint of a grand city. We do not know the significance of this, but our little spies has informed us over the years that Strahd likes to visit from time to time, spending hours looking at it. That is all we know about Jester Hill. It served no purpose to us, and we didn't think that there was anything. The curse have made many places dangerous in Barovia. Argyn was told it was just an empty fort for a few months, and then, well, now the knights have arisen. We thought that there might be some strange magic that has arisen around Jester Hill, in accordance to what the curse seems to be doing all around Barovia, and we thought it was best to keep our distance until something more troublesome would show its head. I guess that time has come.
How far away is Jester Hill from here?
About a half day south.
Nix like turns to the pages in his book where he's got the map and sort of slides his book across the table to Davy and says, and then like puts the pen in the middle of the book and says, "Would you be so kind as to mark exactly where it is?"
He looks down on it and this is a good rendition. Well, it is somewhat over here. There's already like a marking of like a big hill there, and like a circle on top of that hill, but this weird thing above it is not there on the map. And he slides it back to you. Doesn't go all the way, but you kind of lean forward and you take it and look down. The last reason why we tend to keep our distance from Jester Hill is that the Night Apostle, Rin, likes to visit from time to time.
I would then say that is our next waypoint. If it is this close to your vineyard and Rin is there, I would not say that your vineyard is safe. In fact, I would go as far as to say you should be preparing for another assault.
Yes, I wonder if it's even worth it to remain here. We shall gather our strength, but it depends upon what we find down there, but I shall advise my family not to entrench ourselves further.
I think it's a good idea, though, Davian, to send a couple of ravens to see what's what at Jester Hill and report back if they could. After all, if that is where we're intending to go, and this person of the forest seems adamant that something is already too late, I have a sinking feeling that perhaps something ominous or evil is happening at Jester Hill.
Yes, that will definitely be our next move. You asked what they were searching for. Our 3 gems of fertility have already been taken from us. Yet they still came to search for something which worries me greatly. The only artifact worth this much bloodshed over. It's a raven totem.
What is that?
We are not normal lycanthropes. It's something akin to it, but different altogether.
Huh.
We cannot be spread like a disease. There's a mechanism to it, an initiation, which requires this wolf totem. Oh, raven totem. Freudian slip. Been talking about the wolves for too long.
I mean, I'm thinking there's some similarities there.
Yeah. It's a bit of a similarity.
It's a small wooden figurine. When we noticed their attacks in the beginning on our defenses, coming closer with their strange animated plans, we took it and hid it far away. If they know of it, then I worry what they might have told Strahd.
And where did you hide it?
There's a tiny bit of hesitation, like he doesn't want to say, but then there's like a big sigh and like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be forthcoming. In the swamps of Beres, underneath the nose of Babalisaka.
What?
Oh.
Nyx does a
So-
big old sigh.
That's a weird place to put an icon. That.
Nyx slides the book back over with the map. If you'll be so kind, after all, if they have this, your entire line is kind of in jeopardy. A curious place to hide it for sure.
May I ask why you put it on the Babalisaga's nose? That doesn't seem like a very nice place to put anything in.
Well, there's a special place in the swamp that not many know of. A statue to a member of our organization a long time ago. The curse that has fallen over Barovia is lighter around her.
Is it now? In what regard, what manner, if I may so ask?
I don't think it's anything explicit. It's a feeling. And
What
this
does this statue look like?
it is a depiction of Lady Tatiana. Who almost married into the imperial family.
Excuse me, what?
Well, Sergei,
Well,
The
I
twin
am
brother
aware
of-
that Tiana was about to marry Sergei before Strahd murdered him on the wedding day.
to know as much. That's impressive.
Well, should I just say it, or is that something we should get into later?
They are our allies, but I mean, we are here to find information rather than give it at this time.
Very true, but you said member of your organization?
Yes, I'm time to explain that as well. Well, the Savoie Empire was certainly mighty. It had many different branches and curious departments in its ruling echelon, you could say. Part of the power, you could say, was the royal offices of the Red Fang and the Black Eyes. They were two organizations meant to keep the Empire protected. The Red Fang was a militant group of imperial vanguards and bodyguards meant to keep them safe during the sunny hours of the day, as well as shock troops, special operations. And when you're fighting somebody that is prepared to face off vampires, a bunch of raving werewolves certainly is different. That imperial office has always been in the hands of the ruler. It's more of a ceremonial title, of course. There is a general underneath that takes care of the day-to-day business of it. And then, of course, there's a leader within the organization itself. The other side of it, the Black Eyes. It is, or was, a spy organization, filled of scholars and archivists, scouts, assassins. They took care to gather and record information so the Empire could foresee dangers before they arose and perhaps take care of it before they became trouble. This office was held by the second in command of the Empire, which at the time, after Strahd took over from his dear father, Emperor Barov, that was Sergei.
Like, it's genuinely surprising how much better my...
Tatjana was a newcomer in the ranks, but due to her dalliance with the Imperial Prince, they became closer not only in their personal lives, but also in their professional ones.
I gotta show you, man. Like,
Together, Tatiana, the Black Eyes, Sergei, Starball, and Intri. We all, or they, planned a coup.
What?
Yes.
okay, so...
After the great dragon Argenvost fell, there was nothing keeping Strahd and his friends from exploring the cursed temple that is in the southern mountains. When they came back, Rahaden, Madame Eva, Patrina, and Strahd, they were all changed. Not in the same way.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Strahd disappeared from court. There, from what I understand, my father explained it to me in such a way that he started to lose his mind. Erratic, unreasonable, and non-active when it comes to imperial business. Sergei and Tatiana thought him unfit to rule. But they were discovered. You see, Strahd's friend, one could say one of the ancient members of the Vistani's birth, Eva, had grown prophetic powers that had been nurtured by Strahd himself. With her extreme talent within magic in that vein, she was able to discover what was going on, and this attempt was thwarted. That was the beginning of the end of the deteriorating relationship that Strahd had with the Black Eyes. It did not help that after he killed his brother Sergei, we stood at his side and tried to take him down.
So the newer models look better, but like still.
We were eradicated. We failed. With everyone else in that courtroom and the Barovians and everyone that thought Strahd gone. It's a miracle that Davina Martikov was able to slip unnoticed. Ever since then, Strahd has thought us dead, gone. He even believes that he has in his possession the Raven Totem. But it's a simile. It's a fake. I think you understand now why it's so dangerous.
I do, yeah.
And what do you think Strahd would do should he discover that you are not completely eradicated?
Finish the job, maybe?
I mean, of course. We have continued to be in rebellion, you could say. Though very much diminished. We have tried to keep the sacred knowledge alive by passing it through Martikov to Martikov. But things are lost with time. And even Davina's knowledge was limited. Limited to what she remembered, as our records are out of our hands.
I've just been I was off last week, right?
So why didn't you make more if you had knowledge of where the actual totem was? Why hide it? Why not collect it and make more of your kind to build an army and rise up against Strahd? Instead of just letting us all, like, be under his rule. And, you know, we all feel how desperate times are. You had the power to rise up and you didn't do it.
I don't think they had the strength to
But they could have had the
Strahd.
strength. They could
Why
have.
is that? Become birds? That's not power, Nix.
You have to understand.
We are
Out of-
evasive, but the were-raven form does not make us particularly powerful. We have used it to make every Martikov in time when they have grown a were-raven, as they are not passed through our lineage. We are not born ravens.
If it's in
I do not
And
believe such an army could have withstand Strahd and the Risen Knights. And lastly, Eva told us not to.
Why listen to her?
Madam's Eva's role in all of this, because if she helped Stad and then she helped you, well, what happened in the middle?
It took many...
Lyrica looks towards Nyx as if she wants to know if it's okay to bring up Eva.
Oh.
Yeah, Nyx is like keen on hearing it as well. He doesn't seem like he is worried or like upset that her name is mentioned.
And she helped us as well.
Yes, she, from what I've heard from Nyx, she seemed to oppose Stad, but we've also heard tales of her actively helping him, so what's what, exactly?
I will not lift a fucking finger.
It took us a long time to trust her. In the early times, there was confusion, from what I understand, within the family that Davina made around her, of how exactly we were supposed to finish the job, so to speak. There was many worrying things that happened in that time. Nursing of wounds and recollection. Days turned into months, and months turned into years, and then hesitation. In that time, Madame Eva and us have developed a relationship. And we have come to understand that she's regretful of her original actions. And has done everything that she is capable of. Touched that she is, to try and help. I'm not really sure what I stand on the question, but my ancestors were persuaded with her prophetic powers, saying that only through the arrival of heroes through the mists would there be a chance of liberation.
No, I have a thing in my hands. She's right here. Yeah, I have a green thing as well. Alright, now you can go.
What exactly happened in that temple?
It's a frustrating point. I wished that Eva would have explained it further, but it seemed that there was almost a physical barrier between this knowledge and sharing it. She, from what I've understand from the tales, was in great pain when she attempted to help us.
Oh god.
She pushed herself, but it was obvious that there was a limit, and that she had met it. From what we understand, from the stories around Argynvost, Eva, and the other who has visited the temple back in those days, that there was some kind of entity within that made contact. Peculiar powers gifted to those who left in Strahd's little group. But they all spiraled. We know that Strahd grew in some ways mad. Madame Eva went into a revelry that she could not end, she told us. Patrina disappeared. We do not know what happened to her. The wizard that they took with them disappeared for some time, but then came back to challenge Strahd to a duel for which she died afterwards. Kassan. And Rahadin went comatose for some time.
Whoa, we almost killed him.
They are eyewitnesses to the state of which Strahd entered the wedding room, and that he seemed out of sorts. And after his gruesome actions towards his twin brother, all of this happened. And that's too much of a coincidence.
You're saying something happened to Strahd in that temple that could have possessed him to act out against his brother.
He was definitely acting like he was possessed.
What do you know of that?
I think I've seen it. He was crying those black tears, and then he summoned this onyx blade that he killed his brother with. And I don't think Tatiana knew about this. It wasn't something that he had done before. Something was wrong about him.
He for the first time, Davian is just gobflapped. Like, he's just looking at you like you just told him up is down and down is up. That's all correct, but how?
I'm surprised you haven't heard, but we're pretty sure that
My daughter-in-law told me that you had something important you had to tell me, but she didn't tell me why. Or what.
we think that I carry Tatiana's soul. We're very certain of it. I mean, if what I say is all true, those are things that came to me
But
after I arrived.
you were not an elf. How can you be aware of past lives?
I don't know.
Alright, you take the rest, I guess.
That daughter-in-law of mine will be my death. How could she not tell me?
But even Strahd seems convinced of the fact.
And those other people seem very much convinced of this fact.
Oh, there's one more over there.
Ah. That's... Danica told me that you were hounded like a consort, but there was more to it. Really? And he looks to you again, like
Yeah.
looking at you for like a second time. And his eyes widen a little bit. You do certainly look like that statue. Huh. So you have gotten visions from this past life?
Oh, mostly just about the wedding, but after I visited the sacred pool in Kresk, it turned quite clear.
To be fair, Illyria, more things have been showing that we just haven't really said. We have witnessed recently that you are showing additional strengths, powers that are indicative to that perhaps of your past life.
We
Maybe.
also had a ghost thinking Illyria is Tatiana. We also had that abbot guy thinking you're Tatiana. We had lots of people come to the
Yeah.
same conclusion. That's what I'm saying. It's not that we.
So it's not, well, at this point we're quite certain. We're very certain.
I mean, if we're wrong, then it's not just us who are wrong, but it's also Strad and a lot more people who are wrong, and we all do the same conclusion, old man. So, I don't think it is as unbelievable as you might think.
I'm working my way there.
I mean, I know that her soul managed to escape the mists, if that vision holds true.
But this is the right. Who cares if he thinks that it's true or not? We know it's true. I mean, there's too many pieces of evidence to prove.
But I think we're getting a bit off topic here.
Yeah, I mean,
With
all due
are
respect.
you okay?
I'm going to. I'll die as well.
I just never thought I could be so surprised, but that's astonishing. Maybe Eva's right.
I had already
That would
used
be
them
a huge relief.
through another one.
We have us always wondered if it's the right thing to trust her or not.
Well, Madame Eva
I found like once or twice.
gave up her life to ensure that these heroes from beyond the mist are actually
Yeah.
having a fighting chance. We have heard that Madame Eva has died. And Blue has certainly told me things, but I would be grateful if you spoke about it to me directly.
What difference does it make to you? Why are you so concerned about Madame Eva? You said you had our relationship, but you know, I could say that about anything. Like, why are you so concerned about Madame Eva? Nick seems like somewhat disturbed by his insistence. Our task has always been to gather and keep knowledge. Anything that you have learned that you think that might be of use, we'd like to keep.
I'm almost full out of ammo and everything. I'm trying to finish everything.
I don't know exactly what to say.
Doesn't look like hope.
I can't. It's hard for me, okay? It wasn't exactly the nicest experience of my life. She saw that I had made a mistake. She saw that either maybe the fates were twined together and my mistake was actually serendipity. But that doesn't matter to me. My mistake is my own. Dooming people. It's never my intention.
Well, maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't doomed anybody, but saved Barovia.
Okay, let's not. I mean, that's all nice, but again, we're not here to discuss cause and effect. We're here to get information.
Indeed.
I'm getting there, Hamatia.
Son, this is bigger things than your emotions.
Hey,
Calm
hey.
down.
When did you ever tell someone to calm down and they actually calm down in all of your life?
Reasonable people should.
Madam Eva. She gave her life, giving her last prophecy. For all intents and purposes, he was my mother. I know the Vestani of this land don't really have parents in the traditional sense of other races, but she was as maternal to me as anyone could possibly have been. And when she saw these visitors from beyond the mist in her tent, her last prophecy was to tell us of where to find certain things to end this curse, and in doing so, she doomed her life. And in front of our eyes, a creature burst out of her skin and covered us all with her blood. Before flying back to that infernal castle that sits on top of that cliff, she told us to find vestiges. And here we are, tropsing around Barovia in the hopes to find her last prophecy. And I've barely gotten her scent out of my hair. So forgive me for being emotional about watching my mother be eviscerated in front of me.
We recognize the secret that you've shared, and we shall keep it forevermore safe.
So how did this help you, old man?
Fun thing.
You mentioned that he turned into a creature. Do you remember what kind?
I do. I have been reminded of it somewhat frequently, recently. It matches that of the decorum of Castle Ravenloft. That of those ever watchful gargoyles.
So, Madame Eva told you her last prophecy, which caused her to turn into a gargoyle kind of creature. And that is why you have been able to recover the lost sword of sunlight, Sergei's ace against his brother.
Belonged to Sergei?
He forged it in secret as we planned for the coup. But when they were discovered prematurely, the weapon was hidden away and eventually given to Sir Vladimir Horngard in hopes that he could do what Sergei could not. But he fell as well, and so did Argenvost. We thought that Strahd had taken it, hidden it away, destroyed it, forever gone. But apparently not. And what you have just told me, Nyx of Tristani, can be another clue to this great puzzle that's in front of us.
Oh, your things left.
Do you not find it peculiar that the symbol of this upstart religion of this Mud Knight is that of a bat?
I was not expecting your guns, your guns to disappear.
Why would I find that curious? I mean, who cares what symbol they are?
Because Madame Eva had such a tattoo interwoven within her soul mark that she showed my ancestor.
We have a colleague who also has a bat within their soul mark. Who were
Really?
they were cursed by being too close to a statue, they said.
I do not know of any places of worship so brazen to the Night Mother in plain view in Barovia. Where was the statue?
They don't necessarily recall it was, to them, some sort of like a dream. The details are fuzzy.
Frustrating.
A
So
house
close.
somewhere.
So close yet so far away.
But hold on, you said you had a relationship with Madame Eva. Like, how close were you two?
In fear that Strahd would find out, we, from time to time, have shared information over the centuries. A raven sent
Let's do this thing, I guess.
a private conversation had, maybe once per decade or so.
Side question: does Nyx know where Madame Eva's soul mark is? What? If you say on her inner thigh, I'm gonna lose it.
It's the one.
Well, I didn't want to decide in case you had like a very strong contender where you think it would make sense, but I'm pretty sure.
On inner thigh.
I'm pretty sure it's part of her forehead, right? That she has a third eye there all the time.
She wore a headscarf, I believe, right? So it was hidden. I'm just wondering whether Nyx would have seen it, though. That's why.
Now that you know it might be there, we can do like a retroactive intelligence check to see if, like, with this knowledge, if something awakes in your memories.
God.
You know what? Intricately in there, and whenever Madame Eva's Frostmark would lit up, that purple light of her third eye, there was a part of it that lit up with a darker, more reddish purple color. You didn't really think of it like as a bat. It was more to you just like a part of the intricacy of a third eye, because it's like filigree around it and stuff like that. But now, it was always there. You just never thought about it like that.
I'm starting to think that whatever happened in that temple happened to all of them. And the symbol of the bat, maybe the symbol of the Night Mother. She seems to, whatever she is, reach out and control people here in Barovia that we have seen or had in our lives that hold any sense of worth or power. They might have been touched by the Night Mother, and in the background she controls them. For what reason, we don't know. With this curse, we aren't even sure if this is the curse from Strahd, but from something much bigger.
I think whatever this is caused by something that happened in that temple.
And it's up to us to find out what happened. If we are to ever end or discover how to end this curse.
Look at the freaking what I got. I just took a
And to send you home, Illyria.
Yeah.
I have heard worrisome tales. We have had a few ravens fly by.
no.
Those that get too close are never seen again.
Drop your stuff, like all the stuff.
Visitors to the mists and
And you leave it on
brave Barovians in the past has never come out.
I'm just gonna grab a resupply here.
It is risky.
How did you get up there? Oh, yeah,
You said the same thing about a little bit of weeding. And here we are, sitting, having a lovely conversation.
If it was just a bit of weeding that was needed to be taken place in that temple, well, I think that things would have changed faster. And we wouldn't be here. Now, whatever lurks in there is bound to be very dangerous. If it affected some of the most powerful individuals of the Empire, well, then it's cause to worry indeed.
Didn't Argenvost mention that it almost affected him?
Yes, he described it at length during a dinner that Strahd hosted for the dragon and some of his knights. Back in the nights before Castle Ravenloft was completed. There, Strahd tried to understand what the dragon was doing in his capital region. And the dragon tried to persuade Strahd to not investigate further. Described his own encounter, saying something along the words of a voice that tempted him, and he almost gave in. And that was enough to apparently shook the great silver dragon, enough for him to guard it ever
I'm
since.
I'm just mining. I threw a grenade down and I'm just mining.
Too bad it was doomed to fail to begin with. Strahd has never been the one to shy away from such threats.
Well, we started this journey with the intention of...
I mean, I do fear that the prophecy might lead us there anyway.
We already know it does.
Yeah.
So what did this prophecy entail? What did she tell you?
Well, I mean, there's only
Yeah,
2 of us left here. I mean,
yeah, I did mean
Sarasvata is out there, but
She each gave us a reading, and her last part of it was explaining where, through cryptic terms, where we could potentially find vestiges that could put an end to this curse.
and we have found one.
We each have cards that represent Madame Eva's last prophecy. And, you know, just as much as I do, if you were in contact with her and had some sort of a relationship, she was not exactly always straightforward.
Yes.
Yet we did know that when we were close to a vestige, one of those cards that represented her clues lit up. And we have also seen...
Nifty. So what were the wording for these other 2 objects, I think
You know, you've
you
got me
mentioned?
thinking about one. I mean, we've narrowed it down to somewhere around Perez.
Yes.
And
There was...
woman, rose of great beauty plucked too soon.
Yeah, you were.
The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak.
We have assumed this meant the Lady Lasagar herself.
Having a good time.
And with you mentioning that the curse seems to disperse around her, this only adds to our suspicions.
Concerned.
But it's of a person
Yeah.
or something.
Doesn't need it anyway.
I'm not exactly sure what we are looking for. But our road leads to Baba to get some sort of information.
Also dangerous, but seems necessary.
And the other one, well, kind of covered it.
Needs to be done.
Lies with us at the temple in the mountains to the south.
faceless demigod awaiting us at the end of a winding road deep in the mountains.
Born of a human, clad in a veil of cloth.
Going everywhere. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh, I'm stuck.
Then it seems
I'm stuck.
your journey is south.
Don't you fucking dare say that.
You
I couldn't get
all
out.
like sit back, letting
Okay.
it all sink in.
I had to go further in.
Davian starts to cough again and brings out his flask to like wet his throat. It seems becoming more raspy by the second. And when kind of his fit has died down, once we're at it, anything else? More questions? Let's go for a break.
Oh, thank fuck, I have to pee so bad.
Yeah. Go pee. Go
I'll be
refill the
right
drinks.
back.
Goodbye. Refill your drinks. Do all the things. I'll be back. I'm just gonna refill my drink as well. I'll be right back.
Burp.
Brr.
Burp.
Brr.
Oh yeah.
Let's do. Do. Alright, there I am. Bowie, if you're still in the shed, hi, hello.
Yeah, the arms meant to change.
I am very pleasantly surprised how immediately you have dived into this. Hope you like everything. Don't be scared to send questions. Talk also to my players about their, they can also answer questions for you. There might also be questions that you have for them, stuff like that.
Just call it the thing.
Oh, hi, you! I love reading through homebrew stuff, so it's a joy. Aw. Very happy then. Read to your heart's content. But yes, I'm very focused when I'm GMing. But don't worry, we're here. Just talk. You also have the Curse of Mother Mystery channel, just a general chat for the whole campaign. We're all here for you. Heck yeah, we'll definitely do. Awesome. Oh, you have the cutest emojis. Oh my god, what is that? That is so cute. And also in your on Discord, that little frog uvu, it's the cutest.
Yeah, he's a little bit sour about that. Well, like,
I
thing in Sweden
very
where,
sad to inform you that I do not have chocolate milk.
especially students get like a
Oh, you did not have chocolate milk?
No, I have banana milk.
do sports and stuff.
Of course, I wouldn't want to drag your attention, but good that you understand. And I got some friends with some great taste. I just steal it. Awesome. That's the best thing. That's a really smart tactic. Sure. What do you have instead then, Julie? If you don't have chocolate milk, do you have an egg?
banana.
A banana. Okay. All right. This is acceptable.
I just went directly to the workshop.
I can get an egg, but I have a feeling that wouldn't go too well with the banana milk.
It's like the bus stop I get off at is like next to it.
Banana milk?
Yeah.
There is actually something called banana milk?
They gotta cut their tables.
Well, I mean, have you
come
ever
if
like
you want,
just
and you can even stay after
tossed
closing.
bananas and milk into a blender?
No, I have
Some
not
tables
actually.
work, but you can,
Do enjoy liquid
sometimes
mango ice cream. That's magulassi. It's an Indian thing. So good.
like, whenever we have like bananas that have been like lying around for too long, we just kind of toss them in a blender
yeah.
with milk.
Magic
Smart.
Commander table set up as well.
Okay.
And
Next time,
it's not
add a
cute,
little bit
but
of ice cream to it.
It's okay.
Do it like the Indians do. I think that ought to be really, really tasty.
Silent.
Ooh, Silent! Hello!
So, like,
Speaking of
if I
cute,
compare it to, like,
cute emojis.
let's compare it to,
I say it's time to try something new. Let us know if that egg banana milk works out for you.
I'd rather not throw up. I have to go to work tomorrow. Thank you very much.
it's more like
How you doing tonight? You know,
it is
I'm
insane.
doing okay. I'm a little bit frustrated because I tried to prepare a whole new area in case this conversation
insane.
would end and they want to continue on traveling today. But VTT enhancement suit, you know, with all the glorious animated maps, just decided to not work today. It was just so stressful trying to find out a way to fix it and then just time fixed it. It was like 20 minutes before the stream started, animated maps just decided to work again. It's just
But it's like a
witchcraft
big
that has
area,
prevented me from doing my GM's duties today.
the entire base.
Hey Mo, I'm sure there's other things you could eat and or drink that would probably not go well together, but I do not recommend it.
I'm gonna call the drop.
Do a grog, Hema. Everything in the kitchen.
Well, like that.
Yeah, I saw you on Discord, that sucks, yeah. Ah, you know, stuff like that, and you get
I'm
more and
actually
more
really looking
frustrated.
forward to work.
Nothing seems to work. That's good.
But that's probably because I only like I only work whenever I'm needed. Sorry,
that's
boss man.
bad.
Thanks some banana egg milk. Feeling like dying. You know how it is.
You know, it's not my fault. Somebody on the internet forced me to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of sales, actually,
It's like the same kind of excuse of like your dog ate your papers or something like that. Homework.
I might have to try that tomorrow because I definitely did not do my homework.
in the end of the month. Every time
But
there's a-
do you have like a cat at home or something like that?
shop-
I don't know.
I
You seem more
do
of like a
have-
cat.
I do have 4 cats at home.
Oh, well.
like,
They thought it was a plaything and ripped it up. But it's probably
Yeah, I mean,
digital
one of them
these
is
days.
actually like,
and of
well,
game
she likes to
shops.
eat like paper like in my mom's office, but whenever she's in my room, she just leaves my paper alone.
You know, they don't taste as good apparently.
I guess.
So,
You know, Twitch chat, they're so silly. I had no choice.
Games
Yeah,
Workshop
exactly.
networks.
Exactly.
Do it for charity, like the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Cats can
Cat
tell you would
can
like
tell
to.
you would like
Yeah,
to.
you can
But like, here's the
become
thing:
a
I don't want my
explorer,
paper shredded.
my
Just my homework.
um,
But isn't most like stuff like that digital these days? Like I don't remember dealing with papers almost at all.
I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
It's my
I
avid
still
use of
write
Google
a lot of
Docs.
my homework by hand if
Well,
it's like
it
not
allows
writing.
you-
assignment.
Wow.
Right?
I
Just
think
out
I
of
like.
habit.
And stuff like that.
I think I
Like
stopped
my
doing
mind
that.
was blown when I was told that we were allowed to write the German
10% off.
like test on a computer, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh.
And it's
Well,
like
most tests were still paper,
€7
but
a month
most
for
schoolwork
that,
since
that's
8th
like
grade has just been laptop. For me, at least.
And you get
I
to
mean,
book tables
no, my
and, like,
school,
and you can, like,
I mean, I guess
organize a
it
lot of
depends on
things
the
through
teacher,
them,
you know?
Right?
But hey,
A lot
Like,
of them have
the guy
adapted
that's been
teams,
organizing
especially
all the
after
tables,
COVID.
like, I've been doing
I'm
it.
very glad I went
He's
to a
just saying-
school
he's
that
just
gave
remember
out
going, hey,
MacBook
and using
laptops,
his
MacBook
booking
Pro
tools,
laptops
to
to like
organize
4
it,
classes
and then
every
set it all up.
year. That's where my roleplay enthusiasm came from, because that allowed me to play 1,500 hours in Skyrim, a cracked Skyrim on a MacBook Pro laptop for like a summer, non-stop. That's where the nerd that is Bexxy was birthed.
I'm trying to think what it was for me, but I've always just kind of been into like video games and stuff because my dad, we used to have quite a few computers growing up because he was working with computers. And I used to play those like shitty video games that came with cereal for hours on end.
Silly rabbit.
I think I got out of high school around when the Switch happened.
Are we waiting for me?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you've been talking for like 5 minutes. I didn't even interrupt. Oh shit.
I just want you guys to like say like, "Hey, I'm here," right? In some way. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
here.
want to stress
Hey,
you.
listen.
It's 5 minutes. You know, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 6. It doesn't matter. As long as it needs to be. Okay. All right. We're ready to get into it again.
Let's do it to it.
Woo! Okay. So, the floor is now open to you guys. Davian has just like finished his like tirade of information that he thought was necessary, and now he doesn't know where you want to branch off to, and yeah, the ball is in your court.
Valeria,
Hmm.
do you have any questions for lovely Debian here?
I mean, I think we got answers to a lot of questions and maybe even some more information than I expected.
Does that mean no?
So, I mean, not really. I mean, we have covered what is known about the curse, more or less. We have spoken about the temple. I guess I did get some more information about Tiana.
Oh, dude. Something I've been. Oh yeah.
We
Balance and
discussed
4K.
the wedding. We
4K
have
pay rate.
mentioned
It's
the
genuinely
Esther's
pay
thing.
rate. Like, obviously.
What about those standing stones?
Well,
What about those standing stones?
I don't know.
Stones.
Nix will like flip to the page in his book with the rubbings on it.
I've
yeah.
told the Blue to stay away, but I've gotten a report that perhaps you went closer than what was safe.
We didn't touch them, just so you know. Well, that's not exactly true. One of us did touch them. And he looks over to Amatya.
Amatya looks to Illyria. Yeah, Illyria, don't touch the stone. Holy sh...
so long.
Hey, I'm not the one who got mysterious wind powers.
I haven't the slightest clue what you
You
mean.
know, a lot of people love Turkey. Yeah. Yeah.
I have mysterious
genuinely
vampire
amazing.
powers, but that's not the point.
So yeah, touch the stone, things happened.
Of course.
I have wind powers now. Care to elaborate, Mr. Know-it-all?
If you know anything about those.
And they sell a lot too. They're like, but the problem is.
I've heard a little bit about your background from Blue.
That,
You are a daughter of the Hag Morgantha, no?
That is correct, yes.
From 2004. Okay. Some of their models have not been updated since 2004.
Interesting that you would choose this path, consider what I've heard about the two older ones.
They're aging really fucking. Yeah, they're aging well, but like.
Well, we might have some family issues, you know. They see the world one way, I see it in another light, so we came to a bit of a conflict.
Well, I've decided to trust you in a group, so I will have to trust that you are not a spy for the Night Apostles. Still, your heritage is intriguing. I've never seen an ability like yours. It's very useful.
What ability?
You do not always look like this, do you?
Well, how do you want me to look? I can look just like you.
That is what I'm referring to. Keep up.
I was under the impression that all of my family can transform one way or the other, so I never paid too much attention to my inherent ability.
As for from what I understand, yes. It's certainly unusual. You are not
Dude, I really want
a hag.
Let guys go, honestly.
From what I understand, not a witch. But something else.
Dude, I was talking to a buddy, Marc, and he was like, yeah, dude,
As for
probably
the bigger subject, there's some things that even Blue do not understand. Sometimes Miela's curiousness can get the better of her. It's been better to limit what she knows while she goes.
No.
She takes unnecessary risks. Sometimes she makes me regret to have initiated her to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. We know frustratingly little about the Standing Stones. The little we know was supplied to the Black Eyes before the wedding. And this information was supplied by reports from, well, they weren't the Night Apostles back at that point, but the group that would become them. The three hags, Rin, Baba, and Morgantha. They informed Strahd, and in turn the Black Eyes, that they have encountered another authority in the valley.
And a spiritual authority and a material authority. What sort of authority? Like a divine authority?
They call them ancient elementals that have guarded the valley. Primordial beings. Together, the forest folk named them the Ancient Land. There were 3 of them, but we only know of 2 sites of standing stones. They, from what we understand, seem to be a place of worship to them.
Yeah.
The hags, who were not on the best of terms, from what I understand, they weren't as close back then. They approached Strahd with ideas of taming these creatures and siphoning power from them to prevent them from intervening in Sarafich business in the valley and strengthening the empire at the same time. In hindsight, it is believed that some of the misfortune that fell upon the Sarafich armies as they landed on the beaches of northern Domakan in the early battles against Empress Shay for the dominion of the archipelago, these creatures might have been behind some of it.
Becky doesn't play with noobs.
From what we understood before everything went to, excuse my words, shit. They only had plans and ideas and goals of binding them. But nothing concrete. But considering how things are today, I am quite sure that they succeeded. Sadly, I and the rest of the Martico family have been unable to decipher any of the writings on the stones and any interaction with them. Well, it's quite dangerous. Touching the blood pool killed a Martikov back in the day. For ever since, we have been exceedingly careful. There's an interesting connection here, though. The vineyard, has an interesting connection to the ancient land. The hags stole something from these elemental creatures, even before they were binded somehow. We do not understand the mechanism of it. The 3 hearts. They were gifted to the Spillovich family, who were the original owners of this vineyard, after the curse started to destroy most plants in the region. They were given by Strahd to Artank Svilovich to keep the vine production going for the benefit of the Visani. And this was magically possible because these 3 hearts were secretly buried in the soil. Three hearts is what they're called, but they're actually 3 stones.
What do they do now?
What they do now? They don't do anything anymore for us. Because they have been stolen from us.
And if you were to have all of these stones back, the vineyard will be back in full production.
They are powerful. I'm sure it would. But considering what kind of venture we are embarking upon here, I wonder what for.
What else can they do?
I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like they are able to animate plants.
Hann reka fólk sem like mikilvægt fyrir starfið.
That's it?
Well, I'm not sure. One disappeared about a decade ago under the nose of my son Irvin. And we lost Champagne to the Stomp. We do not know what became of that stone. A few weeks ago, scarecrows invaded. Eventually they found the second one. And we lost Dragon Crush. And then, almost 2 weeks ago, we lost the last one. But now we're not even able to produce Great Mash. I don't know if all 3 stones are working in tandem. But Darius informed me that you might have seen one around the neck of the shopkeeper of the village of Barovia.
I think we sent a raven to go check it out.
It's quite a distance. But soon I think we shall have some answers.
It seems strange to me, just a little strange, that amongst what is going on, with a curse rampant through the land of Barovia, that the wine production, okay, it brings joy to the people of Barovia, but under the circumstances, it doesn't seem all that important. I mean, I love wine, don't get me wrong. It's
Wait.
just...
You mean you don't wish for the revival of Champagne de la Stomp, Nix?
I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, I love wine, but if it came down to...
It's considered Barovia has some arguably bigger issues.
Right.
But, I mean, Strahd wants to keep the Vistani happy, no?
Wine is an easy way to coerce. You get everyone hooked on it, and then you take it away. They focus on that.
You know what people will do for wine now.
Yes. After the Swillowitch family died out, buying the vineyard was a very smart move by my ancestors. It gave us a shield. We were favored in some ways by Strahd and protected as long as we kept on giving favorable terms whenever we sold our wine to the Vistani.
Right. Well, let's just say that, okay, whatever's going on in Yesterhill seems to be more of the urgent threat here. Finding out what's going on so close to this place to ensure that its safety is what I consider to be more important than finding a stone that could bring back Grape Mash or Dragon Crash. I'm not against finding and bringing them back, but at the same time,
My
if
line
this-
of thinking is that we have no idea how the Hax has bound this ancient land and what exactly it does for them and Strahd. We have no idea how to undo it. But we do know that these stones are connected to it.
Right. If they are able to do some sort of rebirth or rejuvenation, who knows what they're using these stones for?
Indeed.
And
At
taking
least
them away
it's
from.
better to keep them away from our enemy, considering what they seem to be able to do with it. And maybe we could find a way to make them work for us instead.
We intend to venture out into Barovia, find out what happened truly to start this curse, discover the vestiges as prophesied by Madame Ivar, and end Strahd's cruel reign over Barovia. All the while, trying to find some way to raise some sort of army against him. After all, he has quite a lot backing him. We were in Castle Ravenloft, and it's not like he's camped out there by himself alone.
No.
It's true, although I don't think everybody at the court necessarily is a friend of Strahd's.
No, that is true, Illyria, but I don't know. Coercing someone in the heat of battle when Strahd is standing there might be a little more difficult. Our job is simple.
We suspected, considering the strange things that's happened in Barovia, that Strahd has gained certain power over undeath. And we saw a proof of that in the army that was amassed outside of Vallaki in that strange black armor without a head. This valley in particular was a location between many battles between Empress Shay and the Savage Empire. Who knows how much is lurking underneath the ground and what Strahd is able to utilize.
Our colleague could sense these things, and there is an army buried underneath the ground just outside of Vallaki. That much is true. But again, this is small potatoes. The curse itself seems to be the bigger issue at hand. And finding out what's happened in the temple, well, we have other needs to go there. We have a colleague waiting for us down there.
Yes,
But
the elf who takes everybody there.
What do you mean, everybody?
He took a lot of people there, and well, he almost refused us. A little bit of convincing.
Wait, what about the promise about his crazy ghost sister? Are we going to take care of that, too?
I'm
yes.
a bit worried about that.
I don't think we should leave him hanging forever. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would very much enjoy the silence, but...
It's like his
We'll take care of it. We are good to our word, and besides, our paths converge. We must go there.
It's very true. I do worry about him, but in the end it is his decision.
I'm sure he found plenty of company with the corpses underground, you know, uh, just the conversation partners he's probably looking for.
What was
Either
the
way,
answer again?
Hmm?
the name of who?
His sister.
Hmm.
Since you all heard it, you don't need to roll for it like together. You will remember it was Patrina.
Trina. Yes, like Illyria, but crazy. That's how I remember it.
Which you also heard Davian say.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, but I wasn't. Is that the same Patrina?
Well, probably.
Well, were they a wood elf of the Saturma tribe?
Yes.
I do not know of two, but maybe they were.
Well, I mean, we do know she was close to Strahd, no?
Well, she was part of what we just learned, part of the original group that went into the temple after Argynvost fell. So, whatever happened in there, she turned into a ghost. Madame Eva turned to be a prophet. Rahadin went into a coma, and
Pretty sure she turned into a ghost when she was murdered.
well, there are a lot of answers at the temple,
Yes.
and I'm sure it is going to be difficult. I am looking at Davian. I'm trying to say our journey is going to be difficult. We are strong, yes. We are surprising also,
That
resilient.
you have proven.
But we are only as resilient as those that choose to help us. If these strangers from the mist are the prophecy from Madame Eva to bring back and restore Barovia, now is the time for you to rise up and help. I know that you've just gotten your home back, but if there is anything at all that could potentially help us in our journey, we ask of it now.
He takes a long moment to answer, like trying to give respect to the moment as much as possible. But then he sags a little bit further down. We are not great fighters, nor have we gathered items of great renown in fear that it would rise his suspicions. We haven't expanded to keep our ranks small and stealthy. As we're risking our lives, we are going to give you everything that we have.
Yeah, baby.
But a warm bed, food, the information that we keep, and scouting. That is our strengths. And that is the only thing we are able to give.
I think that's plenty. Your family has quite a lot.
Yes. we have the little ones to think about. Perhaps sending them to the tavern. I thought Irvin was a bit mad when he decided to go in that direction, but perhaps it had a use after all. Sending the little ones away. The dog and Oliver. I am the most knowledgeable. I am in the process of teaching Darius. But I am old. My bones, my sinews, my muscles. I am like a thin ceramic mug. Filled with a lot, yes, but easy to break. I do not know how to serve you best than what I'm already doing.
I don't suppose you have any knowledge about the ability to control souls and cast spells.
That's another thing that has limited us during the years. Davina was not knowledgeable with the arcane. It was not her position.
Okay,
There are some tricks that has been passed on with the more athletic members of her family. But there's ruefully little about the Coptic mysteries in Barovia. And Strahd hoards it all quite jealously. Sacred Kovia died. The priests keep to themselves. The druids, well, we cannot even communicate with them. That's the extent of it.
Good enough. I only have one more question that someone with your experience and knowledge may possibly know. And beyond that, like you say, a warm bed under a roof. I think we probably could do with some rest too. But
I'm sure we will be safe for at least a night. They will not retaliate that quickly.
Okay.
Wait, if it's spells cast as you seek, there's interesting rumors about somebody able to cast lightning bolt running around in the forest north of the lake of Savoie.
What?
It's a very specific corner, my friend.
would it be related to a dwarf, perhaps?
Area with the crazy dwarf?
Wait, what crazy dwarf? Oh, I'm out of the loop on this one.
The
There's a
ravens
crazy dwarf.
who have gotten close enough and not been fried alive have reported back to me a child or a person of very small, stout stature.
Okay. Good to know.
Are we talking about a dwarf throwing lightning bolts everywhere? Is this what the conversation is about? Because that sounds quite weird.
Also, isn't it the same dwarf that, well, we think might be from the Protector?
From the copper bits, yes.
Yeah.
It's very likely, considering that Master Aria's Stormlight came almost 4 years ago trying to do what you're doing right now, but obviously with less success.
That's the area's Stormlight.
Aria's Stormlight, indeed.
Has Illyria, ever heard that before?
Make me a quick intelligence check to see how much you know.
Alrighty. I do have inspiration.
Didn't you use it in the fight? Yeah.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind. Yeah, Illyria didn't really pay attention.
Too many masters in the Protectorate. Could be anyone.
I mean, the Copperbeard clan is not just only one family, right? It's like a group of noble dwarves that belong to this Hill Dwarf society. This group who had this this area, this slice of the main Isle of Carnus. So, I mean, there's quite a few members in the upper echelons of the Copperbeard clan. And, well, it's kind of your parent territory, you know? So, you might have been
Yeah,
refusing to
Let's be
remember
real.
or learn.
Illyria just kind of refused to participate in like history class out of like principle, like.
Yeah, I mean, and also
Sure.
if it's considered you cast like lightning bolt, that's pretty high level. So it's probably would have been some upper brass of your university, you know.
Yeah.
You do have an authority problem, so.
Yeah, she does have an authority. Kind of funny that she ended up in the military, no?
It's true. Well, pretentious authority, I guess.
My one question. You say that you have had a relationship with Madame Eva for a while, and as far as I was always aware, she only was the person that knew.
What?
I have recently
The fuck?
learned that my father was the abbot that lived in Kresk. But I don't know who my mother is. According to him, she was just another mortal.
Did you expect otherwise?
I have been going through some personal shit myself, shall we say. His influence in my genealogy is becoming more prevalent. But there is something within me that conflicts. A dark side. A darkness within. I'm trying to find out why.
Well,
And
all
who?
tieflings grapple with their heritage. And it seems to be specifically powerful, that pull here in Barovia.
It's less about the darkness that I'm concerned about and more about, well, okay, Madame Eva was my maternal guardian. I would like to know. I would like to know who chose to breed with a monster that is the abbot, and why.
I did not know this happened either. Madame Eva warned us that the abbot was not
Out of
the
pop?
hero as he tried to portray himself as.
What the fuck?
And from our own watching, we decided it's better to keep our distance than to try and engage. But it seems that the abbot is not anymore from what Blue told me.
Nyx like fetches the vial of his father's blood. And, like sort of like jiggles it.
That's metal.
That is so fucked. But to be honest, that's just this campaign in a nutshell.
And like sort of like looks at it and then looks at David and says, you could say that.
I've never seen. What was he really?
A celestial being.
Here, on Kasai. How rare.
What's a
Heavily.
Kasai?
Huh?
What's a Kasai?
It's the planet you're on.
Should Amadia know this?
I mean, not
Ooh.
everyone knows that.
I thought it.
I mean, it's like
It's like
knowing that the Earth is called the Earth.
Oh,
I think that's basic enough information for even your family to tell you.
Okay.
Wait, isn't it flat? No, we're not.
What do you mean Kasai isn't flat?
Technically, it's not stated, but anyway,
It's called a plane of existence, not a sphere.
it's not called a plane of existence in Frostmark, though. It's called a realm.
It's not the sphere.
It's a physical manifestation within the confusing sea that is the stellar expanse. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Returning to the
Yes.
moment, Nick says he was heavily tormented, twisted, and desperate, but also somewhat content to play a immortal amongst mortals. But he was intrigued to end the curse in his strange personal way.
He less wanted to end the curse and more placate Strahd with a flesh golem crafted in Tatiana's image.
Because he felt that if he placated Strahd, that might end it.
Oh my,
That he wanted to put my soul into, might I add.
well, my original reaction was that I was a bit sad about the abbot dying, because it's the only one we have seen to come out of the temple ever since that original group, so perhaps we could watch and learn. But from hearing this, it sounds better that the abbot was taken out of the equation.
Kresk is doing far better because of it.
Good. That's very good to hear.
I guess you won't know everything.
You can't know my social security
Maybe Baba
number,
does.
and I literally lose my identity. Right? Men ber meg-
Baba also has a strange relationship with Strahd.
Men ber
She
meg-
seems very protective in a way.
That's what we understand as well.
Yeah.
Strahd was the one who was sent to the community of
Nice.
hags
Vi er på bandet.
once upon a time.
Christian, får du noe fucking deep?
It was
like, er noe stenklikker på noe
like a neighboring kingdom that was situated south of the Savage Empire. And to get safe passage towards the southern beaches required to escape the coming of the cold, Strahd was sent to gain a friend relationship with the hags to ensure that the Empire would be able to migrate through it. There, he encountered a lot of success through Baba, who was seen as a queen, a leader of some sort of the other hags. I'm not sure of the merit of this, but it has been passed down that Baba developed some kind of maternal instinct towards the vampire.
Well, from my conversation with her, she seemed very motherly towards him, very protective.
Yes, she seemed to want to make sure that. Well, I
Can you nog share us? Är det kan inte share någonting?
don't know. I guess you could say she must be a little bit like one with their daughter-in-law.
So, if I understand correctly, Strong believes you to be Tatiana, that we know that both brothers loved. And therefore he invited you to the castle to try and woo you?
Yes,
Impress you? Oh.
and he has been trying to do that for a while. And for a very long time, the visions I had were so, well, fragmented and unclear. I was under the belief that the person I saw was Strahd.
I don't know. I like scrolling down it sometimes.
Well, they, from what I understand, looked alike.
Sergei later,
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, I see.
and he would pretend that it was our wedding that happened that day.
It does not surprise me. It was problematic. Far too obsessive.
He got very angry when he realized that I started to recall more of what truly happened.
I see.
We're all dead
Maybe a
anyway,
blessing in
so
disguise.
It doesn't really matter.
I would like to hear, perhaps after a break, my voice is quickly disappearing, what you learned at the masquerade.
Of course.
I only have the information that has been passed down to me about them before the chaos of the wedding. I'm not exactly sure who is alive of them and what they're up to now. There were many who stood witness to the wedding. Few who made it out alive.
I think we each have our own tale to tell of the masquerade.
I must rest. Over dinner, perhaps.
Of course. Get some rest. Thank you.
It looks like he's about to say something else, of like some kind of like encouraging words or something, but decides against it and then kind of rises very, very stiffly. It's like a soft groan, and he like shuffles towards the bedroom.
Oh no!
Grows double the size in width and kind of like slams
Okay.
the door. He like regains a little bit of his old self as he like slams the door shut.
Well,
That was a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, Samatir.
What?
You seemed hesitant to inquire about certain things.
Like what?
Your family, your sisters, where they may be, how to take them down. Are you really on board with ending them?
Yes, I am, but right now it's not in our priorities, is it?
Well, Rin will be at Yester Hill.
I want to kill my sisters as much as any other person, but I don't want us to go out of our way to find them right now. If that makes sense.
I don't think they're out of our way, though. I think they're in our way.
How so?
If we are heading to Yester Hill directly from here, and she is there,
Why would they be there? They don't go out of. At least they shouldn't go out of. Mother Dearest's territory, so. I don't think we'll encounter them there. We might find another way to fuck Morgantha over, which would be great, but I don't think we'll encounter any of my sisters.
could have asked many a question regarding their territory and how to track them down. Maybe heard back from the other ravens that sadly missing to identify where they are. It's been a time since they have been out.
Yeah. Well, if you really want to find out, I know where. If we really want to finish the job, then we only need to go because I know where Mother Dearest is. So. I was
where is
hoping to
that?
catch one of them off guard, if I'll be completely honest, but it doesn't seem like the case.
And where
Doesn't-
is Mother Dearest?
Probably in her hut. Near Valaki. In our old home. I marked it on the map for you. Next, you know where it is.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry, I just.
was there a reason that you felt that you couldn't ask any question?
No, it was just. Well, first of all, there was a lot of information going on, and I tried to suck in most of it. To be perplexed by my own nature as it was revealed to me. Since apparently I'm not hag, I'm something quite different, which I don't know what means, though. Yeah, I just couldn't get a clear answer, and it kind of vexes me a lot.
Maybe you'll gain the courage at dinner to ask a question. What he truly meant by that.
If you want. I mean, right now is the time to ask questions.
But I mean, if he knew anything more, he would tell me, wouldn't he? I mean, I
I don't know. He seems to be answering questions that are asked directly. Don't stand on occasion. If you have something to ask, say it. Who knows
And
if such an
he
opportunity
says
could
that
arise.
He doesn't have any more information about it. I'm sure we can somehow figure it out together.
it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I just. My brain isn't really functioning right now.
Maybe later.
Yes, I'm
We've all
going.
been through a little bit of difficulty. Been quite a day.
Yes, I am going to take a bit of Barovia, the closest thing that we have here in Barovia for fresh air. So if you'll excuse me.
Very well. Illyria, are you doing okay?
I'm doing better now, thanks. Are you alright?
I am physically unharmed.
No, but Illyria's gonna kind of like try to like grab Nyx's hands, like, know that Madame Eva's was like a mother to you, and
And
you were time, and she was a bit pushy about this whole nation thing.
he was, but it's not easy dragging up a memory that was taken from you and then put back after touching some water. I've only recovered this memory somewhat recently, and pushing it down is not the easiest. I regret the choice I made to ask Strahd to make me feel better. I regret taking Madame Eva for granted. And I regret leaving the mists and bringing you here.
No.
I don't particularly enjoy having that regret shown to me. But it's something I'm going to have to live with.
You went for a lot. Astrad. And I might not have necessarily believed it back then, but I do think us being here together might be for a reason, you know?
A reason? Like some ordained fate put us together. Some unknown force, or even Boreas himself selected us to meet.
Look, if you put it like that, everything inside of me wants to do the exact opposite, but maybe? I mean, so far most of it has come true. And we're gonna make it out of here together.
Nyx will put on the bravest face he will try to hide from Illyria his true feelings, and smile at her and say, "Yes, we definitely will."
How brave is his bravest face?
As brave as a dice roll.
Sure. Deception, presence. Well, you can roll against it, Lear, with an empathy manipulation, or you can just decide if that's not enough for you, just like your passive.
Empathy manipulation.
Well, composure. Sorry, empathy, composure, of course. Manipulation is to try and make somebody feel something,
Okay.
and empathy, composure is understanding other. Okay, there you go. It's perhaps not as brave
Yeah.
as he's trying to make it be.
Illyria's just gonna hug Nyx. And after the hug, just kind of you know, you made me believe in myself, and I think maybe you should believe in yourself a little more as well.
I'll try.
I'll be here if you need me, okay?
Patch up some of those wounds. Here, take this medical kit. It won't be long before we venture out once more. Who knows what's out there?
Alright. So, Samardia is out, taking some air. Davian is resting. And Nyx and Lyria take care of the bruises, mental or physical, from the last couple of hours. You fall into a sort of calm for some time before the Martikov's gear to create some kind of communal dinner. But before we sit down and eat, this will be the end of tonight's episode of Curse About the Misery. Woo!
Yay!
Yay! We did it!